taping of one of my past guests. You remember him, Michael Wutenplan, who is doing a live taping there. So, in order for me to get there in time, we are having a remote show from IHOP. So, thanks. They've been really wonderful here. And yeah, so we're excited. We're going to, let's see. I don't know. Well, you know who Dr. Tiffany is. Actually, let's do this one. I haven't done this in a while. I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. So when you call me, it doesn't say, who's in it. It says, who are you and what do you want? It questions instead of answers. So, Dr. Tiffany, as a way of introducing yourself, since I'm remote and can't access your bio as well as I normally can, answer that for me. Who are you and what do you want?
I am Dr. Tiffany Tate. I am a proud veteran of the United States Navy. I am an author. I have a book called Floetry 108 Poetic Flows of Life, Love, and Liturgical Issues. I have a book called Bad Touching, and I have a soon to be released book called um, Little Engine Mia Sings, all available on Barnes and Nobles as well as Amazon. I long to make the world better, one book at a time, and I am your co-hostess with the mostest.
That is true. Thank you for returning on. And remote, I've never tried this before. So we are super excited that we're, you know me, I love doing new things. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I know you want oh, you have your own pancake.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do breakfast, taking a bite of our gratitude sandwich. I'm grateful for technology that we get to do something fun and remote today. What are you grateful for?
And I am grateful to be a veteran of the United States Navy because, of course, it is the best branch.
Yeah, I is that the Hua one? No.
That is the Marine
Oh,
Corps.
sorry.
But we are following the seas, and we go on the ocean, and we just have the best billets in the world, and we love our country.
Well, we are obviously, the topic is not Veterans Day because I did my Veterans Day special on Monday. And for those of you who didn't hear the announcement yesterday, I had such a positive reaction to, like, was it Troy that said this is the best or favorite guest, or maybe it was Orville Nation, best guest ever. Um, Truly, he was magnificent. And the nicest thing was in the green room afterwards, he said, "You're not the Asian Oprah, you are Oprah." He said, "I've never had an interview go so quickly and completely. I felt like I was at the kitchen having a coffee with you talking. He said it was the most enjoyable interview he's ever had. So super grateful and happy that he's coming back. So we're going to sandwich Veterans Day, front end Monday, end of Veterans Day Monday, since it is on Saturday. So please put that on your calendar. I know that Troy and Orville Nation will be happy to hear that, along with any of the others of you who are on the chat. I know Dr. Tiffany has some friends who are tuning in this morning. Thank you for coming and being part of our studio. And if you put in chat, then I can actually put your questions or comments on stream, as long as there's nothing naughty on there. But we're going to continue. I'm grateful. This is the top of the bun. 8 specific things we're grateful for. I'm grateful. I already said Walt, Veterans Day honoring. Um, one more is my cashew gallery, all the people that are tuned in. Okay, you get the rest.
I am grateful for my son. hmm
His name is.
His name is Nathaniel, and he plays like 8 instruments. He plays the oboe, the English horn, the alto saxophone, the flute, the piano. He can sing. He's about to get his master's. He's about to go to graduate school. He is a multi talented artist, and he writes songs.
Mm, 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 mm.
Hmm. I am grateful for my daughter who has a beautiful voice, and we will get the opportunity to hear her sing the national anthem in honor of Veterans Day.
Yes, we're going to do a moment of silence at the end of the show and
Yes.
then listen to her beautiful singing. Yes. So
Hmm.
that's gratitude. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the button, which is appreciation. Cashew Gallery, feel free. What do you like about yourself? It's my BS belief system that good mental health starts with self love, self acknowledgement, self soothing, self approval, so that we're not walking around with our antennas looking for love or likes, literally, with social media in all the wrong places. So, if you know how fabulous you are 88% of the time, 12% of the time you're imperfect and you step in it. And if you own that, it's okay. Perfectionism is a dis-ease. Don't want you to have perfectionism because it'll steal happiness away from you, because I'll be happy when keeps changing. So I want you to know who you are in the fabulousness that you are 88% of the time. So, what? Oh, you just took a
Mm.
bite.
I swallowed it. I'm good. So I appreciate my ability to show myself compassion because I did not always do that. And it took time and effort and a lot of prayer for me to get to that point. And I want everyone to get to that point because it is crucial, because we show everybody else compassion. And it is important to show yourself compassion.
um, I appreciate that I am a good appreciator, that I look for things to make me smile, and I try to look for the best in people. A little hard on the freeway when people are cutting you off, but even they, I'm sure they don't cut off people all the time. They're just have to get their moment.
Absolutely. People are
That's
trying to.
fine. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll do another one. I appreciate that I am hardworking. It was nice being able to show Dr. Tiffany all the things that I get to do to prep for the show in the morning, and it's always nice to acknowledge myself that any critical voice that says you're not all that or you're lazy, those are just voices, not part of me. I mean, a part of me, but not driving my life car. I am balance centered, Dr. Marissa, and I know that 88% of the time I'm not lazy.
Absolutely. And I like the ability that I now participate in self care. Because if you remember our episode, Journey to the Center of You, we have to love on ourselves. And I never used to love on myself. But now I do take the time to practice self care.
Beautiful. And yes, I did meet that. I'm glad that I missed that. Sorry, Troy. I'm, uh, PJ, Orville Nation, is trying to train me on that I don't have to address every single thing in the chat, and I missed it. So I'm blaming you, PJ. But yes, it's so important to value our veterans, and I'll speak more to that at the end of the show. Last thing that you appreciate about yourself, and I'll close it off.
I appreciate myself too. I appreciate the fact that I can forgive others, because when you don't forgive, it's like drinking poison and you're walking around angry and the other person is living their life. And I have learned to be to be joyous, because the joy of the Lord is my strength. And I can't be angry and frustrated. And a lot of people are always like, Tiffany, why are you happy when you're dealing with all the stuff that you're dealing with? And I'm like, I can't be bothered. You have to learn to take things as a grain of salt, because you can't let other people be responsible for your happiness, and you can't be responsible for other people's happiness. You have to learn to be responsible for you.
Here, here. My version of the drinking poison is I don't want to look at you. I hate you. I don't want to look at you. So I'm going to gouge out my own eye so I don't have to look at you, which is kind of stupid.
Mhm.
So that's my version. Speaking of, if you're nobody said anything, I should. Did you notice it?
Oh, now I
Yeah.
do.
So this is what somebody was mad at me and punched me. No, I'm just kidding. PJ, I sent PJ a picture of it. I got one of those things I've never had before. You know, I like to try new things. Maybe not this, but I had an artery burst, I guess it's
Hmm.
called, in my eye. And so now, of course, when we're on camera, and then at the Magic Castle, hopefully it won't zoom in. I have a bloody eye. It's kind of it's kind of gross looking, but it's kind of cool looking at the same time. So I appreciate my sense of humor,
Hmm.
as silly as it is sometimes.
Well, I want to add one more.
Okay.
I appreciate the fact that you can still see. Amen. Still a blessing.
The joy of the okay. There's your friend. That is welcome.
We
How
call
do you
her
say?
Stephanie.
Stephanie. Okay. I don't know what I said. Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Cashew Gallery. My co captains are out there now. They can welcome you as well. And we, how many did I say? We're 12 away.
Yes.
I'm 12 away from 2,000 subscribers. So
Or is it
if
15?
you,
12 to
yeah,
15.
12 to 15.
We'll give it a range.
So we're almost there. So if you have anybody that you know is at home doing nothing or can not while they're driving, but can free subscribe on my YouTube channel, maybe we can do it during this show and hit that 2,000 mark because PJ's been on my assets about that. All right, there we go. We're getting a nice little welcome. All right, now,
And share the link with your friends.
thank you. Share the link with your friends. Everybody around me is much better at marketing me than I am. Let's see. Thank you for joining us for breakfast. Taking a bite out of my gratitude sandwich this morning. I promise you, if you do this discipline for 28 consecutive days, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. And I forgot to be grateful for my sound engineer who's in the main studio out in Loma Linda, and he's doing double duty since we're trying this remote business here. So thank you, Frank. All right, topic of the day, and this is all Dr. Tiffany's idea. So if you don't
Yes.
like it, don't blame me. No, I'm
Blame
just
me.
kidding.
It's okay. I'll take all the blame. I have no shame. So, the topic of the day is da 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 social media etiquette. And how did I come about this topic? Well, we know how we behave in public, but how do we behave on social media? It varies. There is a generational gap, and then there are gaps in business, there are gaps within friendships, and there are gaps within relationships. And I myself have experienced all three. Well, we know that a lot of times people will get angry with us, they'll get flustered with us, and I know that there have been situations where there are different opposites, polar opposites. And I'll use some situations that I have encountered personally, and I will use some situations in which my friends have encountered personally. Now, the first one that I will start with is the play that I recently had. When I had my play at my church, Second Birth Church, The Souls of Women, I was completely open with it. I had it live streamed. I wanted people to take pictures, and I am sharing everything on social media. You can find it on YouTube, it's completely out there. Now, I've been asked to help promote the Christmas play by another playwright. She is an older woman, great woman. Her name is Miss Carter, and she is more mature in age, a seasoned woman, and she is the complete opposite of me. And the play will take place on December 16th, same church, Second Birth Church, at about 5 o'clock. But she does not want it live streamed. She does not want anyone to take any photos, and she does not want anyone to do anything with social media. If the ushers come around, they're going to ask you to put your phone down. They're going to ask you to not take any pictures. They're going to ask you to not stream anything on Facebook or anything like that. So it doesn't, it's her preference, and it's okay. It is just what people want. I've also had people say, "Why didn't you tag me when you posted this?" I'm like, charge it to my brain, not my heart. I actually forgot. And then I've had people say, "Why did you tag me in this?" So, what is it that you should do? What is it that you shouldn't do? And when it comes to relationships, when should you come out with your boyfriend or your girlfriend? And are they hiding you if they don't post pictures of you? When is it appropriate to come out about your relationship? There are all these different things. So let's go into this Pandora box. I've created a quiz for us to take, and we will take it question by question. And as we answer each question, we can have a dialogue as to what it is that we want to do or what we think we should do. Can you pass me the syrup, please?
Yes, can you pass me the Tabasco sauce over there?
Absolutely.
And if you've just tuned in and you're wondering what the heck is going on, the camera is capturing views that it never has before. That's because it is Dr. Marissa reporting live out here in Hollywood, California, at the uh, IHOP restaurant on
Cheers.
Sunset Boulevard. Here's their little logo. And I am delighted to be able to try this for the first time with my co host on Wednesdays. You all know her as Doctors in the House co host, Dr. Tiffany Tate, author, singer, songwriter, playwright, reinvented herself, Renaissance woman after a bad accident that prevented her from continuing her career as an OBGYN, pediatric surgeon as well. I
No,
think
just OBGYN surgeon.
OBGYN, yeah. And so, she's a perfect example, and why she's my co-host of when bad things happen to good people, it's not necessarily a bad thing. So it opens doors if you choose to do that. And so I opened the door this by inviting her to be with me today, taping at Magic Castle, right up the way, half a mile from here. We thought we would do the show live in Hollywood. So that's why we're
Absolutely.
here. Before we go into that topic or quiz, which I asked her to do, for social media, let me put the moose on the table because that's what I like to do, and just talk first, even about the concept of social media etiquette. If you saw my promo, which I love making, she gives me a topic, and then all my co-hosts give me a topic, and then I try to make it funny, which is, what do you mean social media etiquette? Like, isn't that an oxymoron? Isn't the whole point of social media that people are allowed or uh, use their right to say or you know yeah, write anything they feel, no matter, and they can be brutally honest or mean or no filters. And so, what do you mean etiquette? Who's going to follow that etiquette? And um, it is that is the perception. It's not, I think, a necessarily happy perception. And me, I'm in a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So this is just something that we that especially Dr. Tiffany wants us to consider. You don't have to follow these rules. Those of you who are brats, who drive their life car with their brat in the driver's seat, you may want to know these rules so you can violate them and piss people off. We hope that's not what you're going to do, but that's the whole scope of today's show. And at the end, we're going to do a Veterans Day minute, honoring our veterans, and having her beautiful daughters sing us an anthem that she just did at a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, are you done eating enough?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going ready for the quiz. So, hold on. Did you see this one? I think Arnold is making a point here. You want to read it?
Social media lack of etiquette has a lot to do with diluted responsibility, loosely related to and seen in bystander phenomena. Absolutely, because a lot of people think that they can get away with it because they don't have to take accountability or responsibility
Yeah.
because they're not in person. And usually, if you wouldn't do it in person, you shouldn't do it online. And that's just the reality of the situation.
Hmm.
And it's unfortunate that people tend to essentially kind of take a cowardly response to certain things. But hopefully, as we educate and take more responsibility for our actions, we can improve things. And hopefully, this segment will get shared with people and it will help people and improve social media etiquette to at least a certain extent. And we'll all get better and be more responsible with what we do and with what we say on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to jump in. And one thing is, it doesn't even matter if it's social media anywhere. People have said to me, but Dr. Marissa, I have the freedom of speech. That's in the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. And I will say, yes, you have every right as an American to be free to speech, whatever you want to speech about. However, nowhere does it say, can we throw out or vomit whatever we think without taking responsibility for the impact of what you're saying. So, yes, you have every freedom to be able to say what you want, but own your impact on whoever the audience is that's seeing it. The other reason why I want to do this is I, unlike a lot of people, do not see social media as an evil. I think there's so many positive things about it that sometimes get lost. I do believe there are negative things about it as well. But if I highlight the positiveness of social media and our ability to connect across borders and and express our love, express our goodwill, not just hate speech but love speech, then I have to know how things impact other people. So we were talking about your play
Mm-hmm.
and your friend who doesn't want people. I go, I give away tickets to the Saban Theater just at Christopher Cross, and I noticed some places allow the filming, but this is like the worst way to film something that's on stage, because now you've just blocked like
Everybody behind you.
everybody behind you. There is a way to film like here, or I'll turn and I'll say, I'm sorry, I'm I'm broadcasting live, I'm just going to do this for a minute to catch
Mm-hmm.
it. I thank you so much for understanding. And when I say that, like, they're like, go ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't, then I
You can
may
seem
not
rude.
mean to.
Yeah.
Rude's not one of the adjectives I usually like to use to describe myself, just saying.
But
Okay.
I also want to welcome my sisters, Daphne and Vanessa, who just joined in. So welcome, welcome.
All right, quiz. Here we go. Oh wait, Troy's got a comment. I need my glasses again.
Having a right to do something doesn't absolve you of the responsibility of that thing, and one needs to temper rights and responsibility with wisdom.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And my PR director
Mm-hmm.
is saying to share the stream. Yeah, so if you have any opinions about social media, all right, quiz. I want to hear the quiz.
Okay, so how do we pull it up?
Oh, oh,
I need to.
where?
It's on my computer.
It's on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It's down here at the bottom.
this one.
Let's see.
In the meantime, I would like you to.
So how do I?
Okay. Oh, you want to share that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Let's see. Well, actually, uh, just say it for now, and I'll try to figure it out.
Okay, I can minimize it.
No, because then we'll lose it to be able to
Okay.
share from the screen.
All right. So the first question: should you ask permission? You know, just cut it.
Nope. I'm gonna copy it.
Okay.
There's more than one way to skin this. There we go. Okay. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Oh, here I have. So I have it in my phone, so I can read it from my phone.
Okay, but I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Okay.
That way everybody has it.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's perfect. Yes.
Okay.
So the questions are in the chat.
Oh boy, it chopped it up.
That's fine.
Okay, here we go.
First question: should you ask permission before tagging someone? True or false?
True. Drives me crazy when people tag me if it's a picture that I don't like, or it makes me look like I said something out of context. I I actually put a heuristic rule on my social media that says I must approve it before it shows up. So that's an easy way to do it instead of sounding bossy and saying, please don't tag me until you
Yes,
do that.
absolutely. And I think that it is important because sometimes everybody may not like the picture. And I think a lot of times my kids are like, "Let me see, mom, let me see." And it's not a thing of vanity, it's a thing of respect. Because you might look fabulous, but the other person, their eyes might be closed, or they might be cross eyed, or their hair might be, covering one eye. And I think it's good to make sure that everybody looks good and not that you are the only person who looks good. So, question two. Or does anybody else in the cashew gallery have anything to say about that one?
Also, even before you ask permission on tagging, you probably have it in there. I had to learn this the hard way. People know what I do, and family members especially will say, "Please don't post anything." And I will always say now, I will ask you if it's okay to post before I post, and try not to get my feelings all messed up because they think that I would do it. But to be perfectly honest and tell on myself, when I was first doing this years and years and years ago,
Mm-hmm.
you don't think about that, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
your video, you take the video, but being respectful about, you know, although I have friends who say, Mercy, on your back, you should have a walking, you know, you're in media. So if you're going to be around me, you're most likely going to be on camera.
Basically.
Sign a general release form.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Absolutely. Question two: is it best to engage and argue publicly with people trolling your account? True or false?
False. True. False.
Yeah, absolutely. You really don't want to stoop down to people who are essentially beneath you. They're just trying to drag you into the mud. And when you roll around with pigs, you get dirty. Welcome, Dr. Terry. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. And again, when you roll around with pigs, you get dirty. So there's no reason to stoop to their level.
Okay. I got that right. I'm what, 3 for 3 now? 2 for 2?
Hmm.
Okay.
Should you accept friend requests from people you do not know? Yes or no?
I think it depends on who you are. So for me, you know, the more the merrier because of my happy 88 mission. I want to be able to, you know, reach as many people. I have people on my social media that I don't even know who they are. And when I ask them, they'll say, oh, I met you like 15 years ago when you were doing Tai Chi in front of the, what's that place?
But you kind of
In
know them, or
Sedona.
you've interacted with them.
I didn't know that though,
Okay.
right? But I don't. Um, that's why I'm saying it depends on the person. Because I am
Friendly.
no, not friendly. No, because of my role, because
Mhm.
of my media personality, public figure role, I do accept everybody. But I do look for if it's a troll by looking at how many friends they have and if they're copying someone's already friend, you know,
Profile.
yeah.
I always like to look and see how long of a history they've had. If they just started their social media, if it's a brand new account, I usually will not accept them. And I say that because I have already been hacked.
Mm,
And what I do recommend you do is set up two-factor authentication on your account if it is not already set up.
Hmm.
And that way, if somebody tries to hack you, you will know it because you are able to set up that two-factor authentication where they text your cell phone and they go into there. You give me a stack of pancakes. That was cute. Um, because when I was hacked, they did it in such a somnolent manner. They had copied a nurse who I had worked with previously, and was she sent me a message saying, "Hey, I'm locked out of my account. Can you get me in?" And I was like, "Sure." And that was how they snuck into my account. So be
Mm.
very wary of people that you know. Hey, Jerry. And people who are who have new accounts who are trying to befriend you. Okay. Question 4. Should you be online responding to messages when you are angry? Yes or no? That's nice. I'd like to be your friend. Siri wants a piece of the action.
Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
No, no, no. Inside. I don't know if that showed up on the internal. It's like funny. Last call from Troy Pacelli, who has his own show, by the way, on Sunday. No, wait. Uh, Tell me when your show is again. But I'm going to be a guest on his show, and I'm going to be a guest on Maria's show, by the way. You guys can put on when that's going to be. Troy saying, I try to think of social media as no different from anything prior. Always be mindful of who your audience is, respect other people's privacy. Don't say publicly things that should be private. Do not air your dirty laundry. Important to put safety measures in place, protect yourself. Yep. And yeah, they heard Siri say, I want to be your friend. And finally, sorry, I didn't catch up with the chat here. If your mind is sane and civil in spite of the anger. Yeah, can you be rationally angry? There is a statistic that says you lose, I think it's like 2 IQ points for every 2 seconds that you're angry, or it's 20 and 20. I can't remember the numbers, but 42.7% of statistics are made up on the spot, anyways. But it is true for most people. If you're really angry, not the you're probably not going to think about your intent and impact. You're probably just going to be more of the everybody has a right to my opinion. So I have a restraint of text and thumb that I try to follow, and I sleep on emails that I took a long time to uh, formulate, and I hit save draft. So I would do the same thing with social media if I
Mm-hmm.
want to, but that's the problem because we're doing this. I call MS meaningless scrolling sometimes, and we catch something that doesn't sit well. The tendency is just to start using the tickling the ivory fingers and getting ourselves in trouble because then you do it and then somebody else responds to that and then you do it and then an hour goes by and then the rest of the day you're checking to see who responded. That is like one of the biggest wastes of time. And you know me, I'm all about time is not money. Money you can make back, time you can't get back. Really, do you really, is this the hill you want to die on, and is this really what how you want to spend your time that you're never going to get back? Okay,
Yeah.
soapbox down. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can maybe be on social media and read and calm down, but I would probably not respond or not reply.
I don't
Maybe,
even read.
yeah, I like to watch the jokes, the comedy. So if you're on like watching comedic entertainment to help you de-stress, so it's all kind of relative.
Okay, next. Can you
Okay,
pass the syrup before you do the next
absolutely.
question?
There you go, my dear.
Thank you, darling. If you're tuned in and you're wondering what's going on this morning, we're going to have to do this more often, I
Yes.
think. We are reporting live from Hollywood at the IHOP on Sunset.
Sunset. Hmm.
That's because right after this, we're going to sit in on one of my past guests, Michael Gutenblon, who is taping at live at the, not live, taping for the Magic Castle. So we get to enjoy a day of magic and see if he can make me disappear. Da da like David Copperfield didn't. You all know the story.
Uh oh.
Uh oh. Okay. If you're my okay, let's see what we got. I have a show. Oh, good. Troy, a show every Friday night at 9 Central. Don't give me Central. We're Pacific. Sorry. 10 Eastern. That's 7 p.m. Pacific, and I will be a guest on that show at some point. So tune in to his show. Vanessa, I'm sorry, I lost the contest to that.
She said no, we shouldn't respond when
Oh,
we're
we're
angry.
frozen.
She's frozen.
No, we're
Are
frozen.
we frozen? I think she was frozen.
Okay, Frank. Um, like in the field trip, very cool. Rationally angry. Okay, well, I can't be rationally angry, unfortunately. All right. No, she's not frozen. We're not frozen. Okay, good. Thanks,
Okay.
Vanessa. I like your name, by the way.
All right. So next question. Should you post screenshots of emails, text messages, or direct messages between you and other people without their permission?
Oh, I'm about, should I lie to you?
Nope, tell me the truth.
No, then I won't get perfect on the quiz. I'm a
Okay.
recovering perfectionist.
Okay, then we'll skip you and go straight to the cashew gallery. What did you say?
I think you should ask permission, but do I always do that? I also believe that if you're going to interact with me communication wise and then tell me you didn't say that and I have proof that you said that on your text, then
It's fair
I
game.
don't need permission, right?
That's true. Yeah. I must say that I am guilty of sharing, but I would not post it on social media.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I get it.
So
I
there's a
agree.
difference because once you post it on social
Yeah, yeah,
media,
yeah.
it's on social media for the world to see.
Correct.
But if I'm sharing it with you saying, no, that's not what they said, they just called me a liar, I'm vindicating myself to you. But once you post it on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, it's for the entire world to see.
Mm. But, but if they're doing it on social media, if they're saying something, I don't think you need permission. If they're saying something ugly to you about you, or saying you're lying, that's not what you told me, then I don't think I need to say, do I have permission to post a text screenshot?
I agree.
So okay.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah, some of these are gray areas.
Mhm. I
So,
still get it right then.
yes,
Okay.
yes, you still get it right.
It's not whether you win or lose, it's whether
Nope.
I win or lose.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, and we have Dr. Omega. Welcome to the show. He also has a show on YouTube. I've got some great um, show producers here. My boss used to call me the first thing in the morning at IHOP whenever he would come into town.
Hey, sounds like a great boss to me.
Yeah, right. All right, let's see. IHOP meetings. All right. I think the underlying point in all of this is communication is key. Get permission, be sensitive, never assume.
That's right.
Mhm. Because oh yeah, I knew you were gonna do that. I was gonna do it, and I thought better of it, but
But
there
you
you
can.
go.
Hmm.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, the next one. You have a right to post every photo you take of people.
False.
Mm,
False.
yes, absolutely false. Because, again, like we were saying when we started, you really don't know if people are going to like the photo. And you need to make sure everyone in the picture looks good. And it's not fair for you to just randomly take photos. Now, again, if you take pictures with celebrities, they are okay. They want that picture out there. That's why they're stopping to take the picture. You are free publicity. But that's a whole different can of worms, which leads into the next question.
It's way up there, so go ahead.
Hmm. Should you post pictures with random strangers you newly encounter without their permission first? And I say that because I had a friend who was at a seminar and some woman ran up to him and was like, hey, can I take a picture with you? she took a picture with him and posted it on Instagram. And then he was like, she didn't ask my permission, and now I have to tell my girlfriend about it.
Mm,
And so
mm.
that puts that person in a pickle because he's like, what do I do? And I'm like, well, were you touching? No. I'm like, well, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but is that appropriate for a random stranger to post a picture?
Why did you want to do that? Like, was he a celebrity?
No.
Oh, so
No, they
was
were
he
just,
good looking?
yes. But they were in a class together,
Oh.
and he's a friendly person. And so, he didn't want to be rude, but he felt uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, I think again is one of those, you know, it's up to you. If someone asks you for a picture, like people ask me all the time, can I get a picture with you? And because of what I do, I say, of course, and it's a chance to flash peace and all of
because
that good stuff.
again, that's free publicity, and that's a good thing. But as a
Well,
random
mine's not
person,
as a free publicity. Mine's part of the Happy 88 mission, and maybe that is publicity, but to me, that's different than I want to promote a new show that I'm doing.
mm-hmm.
Well, that's true too. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
talking myself
free
into the whole.
publicity, free
You're right.
publicity.
You're right. You're right.
And then
But you have to ask, right?
mm-hmm. But she didn't ask.
No, no, no. He has to ask. He has to. Can I get a picture with you? It's up to him to say, can I ask what it's for?
Mm-hmm. But she all she did was she was like, "Hey, let me take a picture," and it was
Okay.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I had a person like that at Catalina Island. So.
Hmm. And by before it was done, it was over.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had another friend who was groped by somebody before it was too late.
Oh.
And I mean, so it's like, where does it end? Where does it begin? Where does it end?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the cashew gallery took that question into a specific angle,
Hmm.
direction. Question: what does everyone think of the filming going on at the gyms? Okay,
Yeah, that's another thing that.
Vanessa. Oh no, wait. I would never go to the gym these days because of all the filming. Okay, nope, nope. Not taping at the gym is an absolute no. Oh, saying hello in the
Hmm.
chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, a lot of people they want to show, hey, look at me, I'm working out. Is that appropriate? Should gyms make people sign disclosure saying I won't film because they're like, look at me, look at my body, but you have people in the background that they're filming
That's
because.
like anywhere,
Hmm.
right? But especially the gym, if you're going there to not necessarily, you're on your way to looking your best, but
Hmm.
you may not be looking your best. However, I'm going to put a moose on the table on this one. It's been a
Hmm.
little a California minute. I'm known for this Happy 88 tool called Have a Guy Day. And I would guess that if we asked this question, Orville Nation, to men and women, that more women would say absolutely not than men. And let me tell you why. This is not a stereotyping, it is a group difference. And all I need to do is take you to the gym to watch what happens when not every guy, but more men will floor to ceiling mirrors, will walk up to the mirror and do this
Start flexing.
than women. Women will see, look down, and walk. I've watched it. I did research on this myself as a social experiment because most women, are harder on themselves in terms of they think they're fatter, they think they are not as attractive and not as smart as they actually are. I'm not going to blame anybody, but it does seem to be it's changing but slowly. So it is both, I think, a little genetic and a little social because we're taught to not be all that, especially if you're a colorful woman. I was told, the nail that stands up is hammered down. So do not, flex, so to speak. Most men, on the other hand, have a not so critical gene where they think they are better looking, more buff, and have more hair than they actually do. And that
Hmm.
is Again, not all men, but many men. So I tell women, have a guy day because I think it's a positive thing to learn to be less critical of ourselves.
Mhm.
You know, when I say beautiful outfit, oh, I just got that at, Ross dress for less instead of, Rodeo Drive, or your hair looks great. Oh, I didn't even wash it this morning. It's like, just say thank you.
Mhm.
That's it.
We have a lot of disclaimers because we have a lot of body image issues, and we have to learn to embrace our beauty and accept it without explanation.
All right. Doing
Okay,
the film Jim's mock other implanting and guiding customer is ridiculous. How? Oh, okay. So that's where Dr. Omega is coming from. He's watching this, like the cruel side of posting. Yeah.
absolutely. Well, I'm going to jump to the last question. If you are in a relationship, do you post your partner or do you fail to do so?
Hmm. Well, again, I think it's a gray. Uh, does your partner want to be in a relationship post? Um, I think it's personal. I think that if you guys both agree, then yes. If you disagree, then no. So that's a gray yes and no for me.
Hmm. I think so. But I did some research, and researchers also found that an active unwillingness to post pictures of your partner may be a sign that you have an avoidant attachment style, meaning that you typically withdraw and disengage from your partner regularly, as opposed to giving them the attention they might want and need.
Hmm.
So that is something to think about
Mhm.
if you want to be posted and your partner does not want to post you.
But what about when public figures don't want to be public about private things like an intimate relationship? They want to protect their um, insignificant other, as I like to tease, from the attention that comes with being in that relationship.
I think that is important.
Okay.
And I think as long as you communicate that with your partner and your partner is understanding about that, that makes complete and perfect sense. When it comes to social media, I think it's all about communication. And as long as you communicate your interests, it's fine. Like I said before, I have been criticized for tagging people. I have been criticized for not tagging people.
Mhm.
It is all about communication. And as long as you communicate with people, family and friends, you will be okay.
Yep.
Some people want you to post pictures, some people don't want you to post pictures. You have to know who you are dealing with, who you are working with, because this is all relatively a new way of communicating despite it. Some people view it as a phone call, some people view it as a form of love.
Mhm. We're in the last
Okay,
four
so let me
minutes.
find my
Where is it?
daughter. There it
We
is.
wanted just to do a recognition for Veterans Day that's coming up on Saturday, and I will not be on the air. So hopefully I can bring this up.
Okay.
Uh, this is the only issue with
Will it
doing
just
a remote show. Can you
okay.
pull it up on your phone?
I can pull
It's
it up on
not
my phone.
ideal, but it'll do. We're gonna have to make do with it. Um, Tiffany's daughter's name is
Mia.
Mia. Oh, did you know that I wanted to call my daughter Mia?
I did not.
It means little mother. I love that. But my husband ixnayed that name.
Should I send it to you
Nope,
or
we're gonna just play it right into here. It's
okay.
not ideal, but
Okay,
it'll,
so
and
like
you can still get the beauty of her voice. It is absolutely stunning.
okay, let me pull it up.
And while you're doing that, I think someone gave. Uh, oh, did you lose me when I went to do that? Okay. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we led after twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets ran there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. All right. Wasn't that beautiful? That was for us to recognize Veterans Day and the service that our veterans have done. And whether we agree with war or not, it is not a reason to throw the baby out with the bathwater to recognize those who did put their lives on the line. My co-host here is also a veteran, so it's kind of cool. We don't have time for a minute of silence, but that song in its entirety, hopefully you can connect with that body, mind, spirit, soul in recognizing my guest on Monday, Dr. Lara Moore, said, if you see a veteran, I guess I'm picking up your breakfast. Pick up their meal, and you don't necessarily need to be recognized for it. This is Dr. Marissa. Thank you so much for joining us today for our first remote on location show. You know, it's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. This is a reminder to go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow. Straight Talk with Dr.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? Well, what would you do if you have a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's way too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline.